I'm going to show you how to install Postgres on your Mac using Homebrew. If you don't have the Homebrew package manager installed, go to brew.sh and follow the instructions there. Once that's installed, we can use Brew to install Postgres. We can use Brew services list, ensure that Postgres is running. We'll use PSQL to connect to the Postgres database. We'll create a new database. We'll connect to the database, and we can connect back to the Postgres database and quit. So another thing we can do is we can create a database and a user that someone can connect remotely to this machine. So we'll do, there's also command line scripts for creating users. So Maggie is the new user. And the password didn't match. We'll try that again. And we don't want them to be a super user. We will allow them to create databases, but we won't allow them to create roles. We'll use the create DB command. We'll create an example database for user Maggie. Now that we've created that, we can do PSQL -u Maggie and connect to example. So now we're connected to Maggie and we can create a table. So create a demo table and let's insert a hello world record. And we can also insert a by. So we have two records in our table. We'll quit there. By default, Postgres runs and only allows connections from the local host. So if we see here, Postgres is listening, but it's only listening on localhost. So we need to edit some configuration files to make it work on all ports, all addresses. So we use Visual Studio Code. So the first thing we want to do is edit the Postgres configuration file. And the listen address defaults to localhost, which is commented out. So we'll copy that line and say listen on all network addresses. And then we also need to allow the connection to the database. By default, we're only allowing connections from the local machine and localhost, but we'll allow a host, which is a remote connection, to the example database. For user Maggie, we'll allow her to connect from anywhere, and we'll specify MD5, meaning that we're going to need a password. Now that we have that, we can close Visual Studio Code. We can brew services restart Postgres. Now that Postgres is restarted, we can look back and see that instead of listening on localhost, it's listening on all addresses. So we're good there. Now, in order to show that we can connect remotely, I will open up a remote connection to a Windows server. And now on this machine, we will open Table Plus. We'll create a new connection to Postgres. Host name is, or the name is example. The host is my machine, 5432, users Maggie. And the database is example. When we've done that, we can say connect. We connect, we find the demo table, and we look in there and we have the records. So that worked really good. So now you have everything set up. We restricted the Postgres connection just for that one database and that user. If you read the fine Postgres manual about PGHBA-conf, there's a lot more settings you can do to allow remote access to your database.